Hello, R.K. Bingham here. I'm an author, and today I'm going to show you a few things about formatting your book for print publication. This video will focus solely on page numbering and headers. Getting page numbers and headers right can be a real pain for someone who, like me, is not a word processing guru. So hopefully I can save you a few headaches from my experience. Again, this is for authors who are publishing for paperback or hardcover format. I will cover ebook publication in a separate video. I'm using Word 2010 in this video. If you have a different version of Microsoft Word, or if you use OpenOffice, it may be a little different. One thing you need to start with is to make sure you understand good practices for numbering. That is how certain pages are numbered, whether the page number should even be displayed on certain pages, etc. And so to that end, I have created a chart, and I've made this chart available on my website at rkbingham.com/info/just-authors, and I'll annotate this video to include that URL so you can copy it down and get there more easily. Notice that this chart may have pages on it, listed on it, that you will not put in your book. Not everyone has a half title page in addition to a full title page. Not everybody has a dedication page. Also, there may be other pages that some books will need that are not listed here. One example would be a table of illustrations in addition to the table of contents, or in the back matter. Some may include a glossary, but the principle is the same. The same pattern is going to hold, and so you can easily adjust for those things. Notice also that there are several pages listed on this chart, especially in the front of the book, on which you should not display the page number. That particularly holds true for blank pages. Every one of those pages will count in the numbering, but they're not to have the number displayed. Blank pages should never have a page number. They should never have a header or a footer. They should be blank and blank only. Let's see. Your copyright and your dedication and table of contents pages should not display a page number either. And if you have a foreword or a preface and or a introduction, those pages should display the page numbers as well as the header information, but no header on the first page. You don't put a header on the first page of any of those sections or on the first page of a chapter. For those with two asterisks, the one asterisk denotes that those pages may not be present, such as a blank page there. Some don't have a table of contents. The ones with two asterisks there, generally recto is the best practice. Recto being the right-hand side rather than the verso, which is the left-hand page. Some will argue with that. Some disagree with that on some of them. But we'll talk about that a little later. The items with three asterisks means that you may get a different opinion depending on which standard you're going by or which expert in publishing you listen to. Copyright or dedication, it really doesn't matter whether you have the dedication on the verso or the recto. I personally prefer the recto, but again, it doesn't matter. The acknowledgments page, I number that. I've got a yes marked here, but again, you may get a different answer depending on what standard or what expert you go by. Generally, if you get the rest of the stuff right in this chart, those items that are kind of disputed are not going to get you dinged or get you a bad review or anything. So you just kind of use your own judgment. Look at your own bestsellers. Make sure you go by this one particular standard in all of your formatting, and you should be fine. I use lowercase Roman numerals for the page numbers in the front matter, which that's the sections before the first text page in the book. And then I use regular Arabic numbers. That's the numbers you're used to seeing everywhere in the rest of the book. The first inner or section title page could be, if you have a book that has different sections in it, different acts, different books, whatever, it'd be like a second title page. You're going to leave that with no page number, and of course no header on those as well. And let's see. And it should be on the recto, and just as any other any chapter page. First chapter page of the book itself is going to be on the recto for sure. You don't want to ever put, well, you don't ever want to put a blank page with numbers or headers on it. But generally, I like to have a blank page in between the first section title page, if I have one, and the first chapter page. Some people say that you should have the first page of every chapter on the recto, the right-hand side. I personally like that. There are others that say, no, you only need to do that with the first chapter. There's no reason for you to insert a blank page just so that you have every one of your chapters falling on the verso. Again, that's going to come down in the end to listening to your experts, reading your standard, and making your own decision about that. Again, I prefer the recto on that. So the first thing you want to do when you go into your document, you'll notice I'm on the Home tab. This little symbol that looks like a backwards P is selected. If you deselect it, it turns formatting off. With formatting on, you see where each one of your carriage returns are in the document. And you go down a little further, you'll also see other formatting, such as spaces in between words and sentences are going to be denoted with a little dot. You may not be able to see that too well on the screen, but there's a dot in between every word on this page, and that's handy if you look at it, you see two dots together. You want to probably check and see if you've got your formatting wrong and you've got too many spaces somewhere. You'll notice that I have all of my text justified so that I don't have any uneven edges, ragged edges. That's a pretty good form for your book. You really should do that. Let's see, so we covered the formatting toggle. Notice that I've created section breaks in each section. We go back to the beginning. Got a section break in between each section that I've created. This is the full title page. There's a section break there. There's my copyright page. I put another section break in there. You want to use section breaks rather than page breaks, because having different sections is how you link certain pages to previous pages, so that they keep the numbering format and also the header information. Unlink them wherever you need to, and that'll allow you to delete a displayed page number or header without deleting them potentially from your entire document. Yes, I've got too many spelling or grammatical errors. Reason for that is that I am using lorem ipsum as the text in my document. Anytime you're doing any kind of excuse me, any kind of formatting to where you're not using real words, or you don't care about what words are in there, you just want to verify your layout and stuff, lorem ipsum is good practice. You can download generated lorem ipsum text from loremipsum.org, which is a good place to get it. The reason it matters where you get it is if you get it from the wrong place, there are some people that have thought it was a very good trick to play on people by putting words that are really not very nice inside the lorem ipsum, and you may not notice that. Somebody else will. So just generally go to the lorem ipsum. It's free. They'll generate as much of it as you want, and it'll all be different. So there's no reason not to use it. So if you go into your document, and let's go ahead and go back up to the first page, double click in the top or the bottom, either one of the document, and that's going to put you in design mode for your headers and your footers. And you have to be in that section where your header or footer is when you double click to open that up, and you're going to see all your section numbers. There's the first page header for section 1. Here's section 2, and so forth. You'll also see whether or not you have same as previous toggled on. If you click in there, you'll see that it is selected. If I click there, that'll remove same as previous. That means that whatever I have in here will not be the same. Excuse me. Will not be the same as the previous section. I'm going to toggle that back on there. There is no previous section in this case because we're on the first page. So this little border thing shows up whenever you've been monkeying around with the headers and footers like I have. And sometimes it's a pain if you don't want the border there. If you want it there, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I personally just don't like it. So you go to your home tab. This is your little border menu. Toggle that down and select whatever border you want. In my case, that's no border, and it's gone. And because this is set to the same thing, then it's gone from there as well. Should be gone from pretty much everywhere. There's going to be a few places where I've been monkeying around. It's still going to be there. So I'll be cleaning that up a little bit as we go along. So that's how you do that. Let's see, where was I? Link to the previous section, to just the okay, page breaks and section breaks. So if we look here, let's double click out of the design mode for a minute. So I'm here at the first, this is the half title page. There's my blank page. There's my full title page. There's my copyright. I've got a section break there, section break there. And I'm at my dedication page. Okay, let's say I delete this section break. And let's bring that back. So now I've got table of contents there. Let's put that back down there. So I've got a section break here, but I've got my table of contents page on the same page as my dedication page. So I want to get that off of there. So we go up to the page layout and click on breaks. There's where you have your page breaks. The bottom half of that menu, there's a little divider line there. It's your section breaks. You can use start on the next odd page, start on the next even page. That's kind of bit me a couple of times, so I just generally like to use next page, and that's fine. So it puts the table of contents there. The question is that the format we want? Or let's look at our document. Generally, table of contents may not be present. I still like to have it on the recto, but that's really not necessary. Verso is fine, so we're just going to leave that as it is. So this will be, again, when you're looking at this is going to be the verso. That's going to be the left side, because we're starting our page 1 is on the left side of this document as it's displayed, but that's actually going to be, that first page is actually going to be on the right hand side. So you got to keep that in mind as you're going through your document when you have it in this format, because that can get a little confusing. If you don't get confused about it now, you will at some point, I promise you. Or you can just decide not to display it like this, and I guess you can solve that problem for yourself. At any rate, I like to do it like this, and I think it's useful. You just have to remember that. So let's move on to table of contents, which is on the verso. This is going to give me a blank page on my recto. Verso is going to have your doc acknowledgments, and then this will be my recto right here. That's going to put my introduction on the verso. So I mean the rectos, the verso side, the left-hand side. Told you it'll get confusing. So we look here, introduction. We want that on the recto. So that's not going to work for us. So we're going to have to say, okay, I don't need to have a blank page then, because I don't have to have a blank page in between my acknowledgments and my introduction. Okay, so let's go back down here. Let's say bye-bye to the section break. Put our cursor there, click the delete key, and okay, now we've got the introduction where it should be. Okay, so let's look at the page numbering a little bit. When you expose the header like that, you can do the same thing by clicking in the footer. That's going to show you your headers, your footers. I put my page numbers in my footer. So let's see where we're at here. When you've got this toggled on, you've got a design tab. That's when you'll be able to see your page number icon over here. Click on Format Page Numbers. That's going to bring up this. We're currently set at okay, we're on the wrong place because that's the full title page. We want to go all the way back to the regular title page. So let's go ahead and click in here. Alright, so that's our first page. Go to Format Page Numbers. We want to change that because it's set to Arabic numbers. We want everything in our front matter to be Roman. That's the way I do mine. And there's no sense in continuing for previous section because this is the first section. So we want it to be at 1 or lowercase I. So we click OK there. And there's no page number there, which sometimes there won't be. And I'll show you what you have to do in that case. In this case, we don't care because we don't want to start displaying page numbers yet. We don't need a page number on any blank pages. We don't need a page number on the title page or on the copyright page. And we don't want a page number on the dedication or that blank page. Or what was that? Acknowledgements. Okay, so introduction. Now we're down to the introduction. We don't want a page number here. I'm sorry, we do want a page number on the first page of the introduction, and there's not one here. So I'm going to move my cursor back to the beginning because I want to show you something. So we want to put a page number there. As we saw, sometimes when you go to format numbers, We're going to say continue from previous section. That's what we want, but it still didn't put a page number there. So what I do, the best way to fix that, I found is the easiest way. Hold down your control key, press F9. That's going to give you a brace there, double braces. Inside that, in uppercase, you type the word page and then a space. If this was the inner matter, then I would want to use Arabic numbers. Since this is still the front matter, I want to use my lowercase Roman, so I'm going to type in Roman in lowercase. And so after you do that, you right click on that field and choose update field, and voila, it puts in exactly what I told it not to. So let's see what we got here. I should have checked that. I thought I did, but I must not have. So we're going to change that to 9. Okay. So did that put us any numbers back here? Yeah. That's got our numbering all messed up now. So we're down here. We got a 1. We want this to have the same style as that. We're going to have to go all the way down to, I changed it there, it didn't change it there, so let's see. See, I know how to fix all this stuff. Whenever these kind of things start happening to you in Word, it can get really frustrating when you don't know how to fix it or what's causing the problems, or that you're ever really going to be able to even fix it. It can get very frustrating for the newbie. So let's get all of these done. If you start from a clean document, it's usually not as bad. But when you've been playing around with one a little bit like I have this one, you can have some problems. Word has to sit there and take a nap for a second. Got that fixed. Okay. That didn't take. Try that again. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 8. Let's go to 9. Okay, so now we got page numbers all the way through. Let's get rid of you. Okay, so we didn't get a page number everywhere we wanted to, so we're going to do our same little trick here, except that what I wanted to show you, since I put that there, I'm still in our design mode. Click on it instead of tabbing or spacing or whatever that over, click on this field. That's what it's for. Insert alignment tab. I'm set to center. Click OK, and it moves it over. You got to have your cursor at the proper spot. If I had my cursor on the right hand side of it, it wouldn't have moved that over. Just FYI. So let's do it again here. The braces, page, space, lowercase Roman, update field, boom. And still didn't get one here. Okay, so we didn't get one here. I'll move that. Still continuing from the previous section. Okay, so we got one there. Got one there. We don't have one here still. I thought that's where I was going with that. So let's go with Control F9, PAGE space, Roman, update field, boom, insert alignment tab to center, okay, and so now I've got a blank page with a number on it, and that is what we call bad. Okay, so we have deselected here, which is very important. It's that we have deselected link to previous. We don't want link to previous to be toggled on those two pages. Looks like it's turned off on quite a few, which may get to be a problem here, but we'll fix it. So we go back here. We want that to be turned off, and the reason we want that to be turned off is because when we delete this number from this blank page, if we didn't have that turned off, it would probably delete, maybe not since we have different sections here, but probably would delete the numbering from all of the rest of the pages, and that can be very frustrating. Also, since we do want it here, I'm going to unlink that one because it sometimes will do the same thing for preceding pages, and I usually do it 2 pages back. I've found that to avoid a lot of the heartburn, and there's no reason to have this one linked either. So we'll take that off, get rid of this page number, and boom, I have a blank page with no page number and no header, just like I want it to be. Okay, so we're getting low on time here, so let's move on. We've updated those fields. Let's get to our headers and footers. So some people put the author on the verso side, the left side, and the title on the recto side, the right side of the page. I am one of those who prefer to have the book title on the verso or left side and the chapter title on the recto or right hand side. So let's get out of design mode, go back, and we're going to start it with let's start with chapter 1. That'll be easier. First thing I want to do is, I should have done this before, I want to make these chapter titles, I want to change the style of them to heading 2, and let's make that read right, chapter 1, and let's go to chapter 2, and we'll change that to heading 2 as well, and change the case, maybe a little anal about that, but let's go to, we'll go to as far as chapter 3 with this, and go heading 2, chapter 3. Okay, so here we go. We've got our chapter titles with heading 2 as the format. So we don't want chapter 1, we don't want the, this is going to be the recto side, the right hand side. That's where we're going to want our chapter titles. We don't want a heading on the first page of a chapter, and we certainly don't need the chapter number heading for the first page of a chapter that says what the chapter heading is going to be anyway. So this is going to be the side that has the book title, and the title of this book is Best Selling Novel. You could use the title page and assign the title to be a style like book title, for example, and you wouldn't have to manually type it in here. We're just going to do it this way in this case, and I'll show you. We'll center that. Now we're going to go to the second page of the chapter, or the second recto page of the chapter, and let's get rid of this pesky border, no border, and we want to have this one, we want to have all of our chapters to have the name of, the name of the chapter or title of the chapter in the heading of each recto page, like we have here. And the way that we do that is on the Design tab, we click the Quick Parts menu here and choose Field, and go down to the area called Style Ref, select that, and here you'll have all of your styles. So we'll select heading 2. Now if I had a heading 3 as like a chapter subtitle, and let's say I wanted the heading on every one of these pages to say chapter 1 and then a space or a dash, and then some subtitle. So I could choose heading 2, say OK there, then manually type in a space or a dash there, and then come back in here and choose heading 3, and then it would say, after I click OK, in each header it would say heading 2, space or dash, heading 3. So it might say chapter 1, space, the best chapter, or whatever. So anyway, you click OK on that. Hold it. Okay, so that doesn't exist. Let's see what happened here. Okay, this is, again, heading 2. Chapter 2 is heading 2, and chapter 1 is heading 2. Okay, so we're back to here. We got our error. Let's get back in there. Let's backspace over that. Let's try it again. See where we went wrong. We're in design. We click quick parts. We click field. Go to style ref. And let's go to heading 2 and say OK. And there's what we were expecting. Now we click the alignment tab, center, OK. We go down and we look, and there, voila, it's got it exactly where we expected to have it. And we go to chapter 2, and by golly, there it is in chapter 2. And chapter 3 hopefully will be the same. And it is. There we go. So that's how you do headers and footers and your page numbering. So you'll have to go through and just clean up some of this stuff. As I said, you're going to find places where you've got page numbers where you don't want page numbers in your documents. You're going to have to move some pages around. You're going to find that you're going to have to clean up some widows and orphans, which we'll talk about those in another video sometime. And you're going to find out that some things get moved around. You got to change page numbers. You got to change headings, footers, and you're going to have to use that link to previous. You're going to have to deselect it around the areas where you're at to keep from messing up the entire document. So that can be a pain. That's something. But here's one right here. This is 64. Okay. So if I get rid of that 64, I got a same as previous here. It's going to get rid of it there. I promise you. I've seen it happen before. So I deselect it there, and I go back up here. We've already got link to previous deselected there, so we're okay. So I should be safe at getting rid of this page number here, and I did. Page numbers are where they should be on the other pages. So that's how you handle those situations. Okay, so if this video has helped you, please visit my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/BinghamRK and give it a like. Also, I have an Amazon author profile at amazon.com/author/RBingham. Give me a like there as well. Go to Goodreads. I have a Goodreads page /RK Bingham. Google Plus, I'm plus RK Bingham. I do follow back. If you'll follow me on Twitter or follow me on Google Plus, any of the other places, if you're an author, I do follow back. Better still, buy one of my books and give me an honest review on Amazon, and I'll really be grateful. Good luck on your writing, and don't ever stop.